What should be off limits in comedy? Pranks on people who don't want to be involved, especially ones that physically or psychologically hurt people. That's not comedy though. That's just being a moron. Agreed, that's definitely not comedy. Comedy should make you laugh even if a little part of you knows it's wrong to laugh. That shit is just cruel. I feel like the small pranks are okay, but the bigger ones are just evil. Physically involving people who didn't want to be involved, for example. YouTube, TikTok pranksters. Anything should be allowed on pure stand-up comedy though. Stab stranger in the chest, it's just a prank bro. Titles be like, shooting random strangers in the face prank. I'd rather be shot in the face than dragged up on a stage. Nothing should be off limits, but Chris Rock gave a good rule of thumb on Talking Funny that you should joke about what people do, not what they are. A truly good rule of thumb. Also, don't give out people's SSNs as a joke. One thing Barry often does is have sexual relations with other males. Tonight we're going to make fun of him for this. This isn't like stand-up comedy type stuff, but I hate when people ask, do you like dark humor? And I'm like, yeah, then they show me someone get their head torn off in a freak accident. That's not dark humor. You showed me someone get decapitated and laughed. Humor is in the eye of the beholder. Personally, I would feel sick watching someone dying. Listen, dark jokes are fine. Nothing is off limits. But there's a difference between being funny and just saying disgusting shit. If you're saying that disgusting shit should be allowed if it's part of a funny joke, then what you're really saying is that the only thing that shouldn't be allowed in comedy is not being funny, which I guess I can't disagree with. We're the aristocrats. Best reply in thread. Comedy is subjective, there should be no limits. However, it is still a good idea to keep in mind who the audience is. I think it's a mutual trust thing. Both the comedian should know the audience and the audience should know the comedian. I will not sympathize with someone who is offended at jokes Bill Burr makes and then simultaneously goes to a Bill Burr performance a few weeks later. Mike Birbiglia does a special that kinda revolves around that idea. It's Thank God for Jokes, he hilarious. I agree, if Anthony Jeselnik's first 2 jokes offend you, you should move on to someone else, cause it ain't gonna get better. Depends on the structure of the joke. You can laugh about it, or with it, or at it. And hashtag X200B. If you laugh at someone or something on the other hand, you really gotta know your audience. Best answer in the thread. You can joke about anything, but the way that it is presented can influence how I feel about the joke/comedian. For example, a comedian that laughs at someone or something while never poking fun at themselves isn't someone that I would find particularly funny. As George Carlin said in his bit on rape, I believe you can joke about anything. It all depends on how you construct the joke. What the exaggeration is. What the exaggeration is. Because every joke needs one exaggeration. Every joke needs one thing to be way out of proportion. Filming homeless or mentally ill people without their consent. Filming anyone without their consent. Nah. If you're in public and doing something shitty like littering, being abusive, or being a bigot, I'm making sure the entire world sees you and judges you. People who obviously don't give a fuck who sees them are also fair game. Gasp. You filmed them without consent. Well, yeah. The dude was masturbating on a subway car. I think it's safe to assume he doesn't give a fuck who sees. I really wish Reddit would knock it off with the constant moralizing sometimes. I was going to say nothing, but that's been covered thoroughly, so I'll go with stealing another comedian's jokes. Funny, I stumbled across this as I'm currently re-listening to Rogan on Marin 10 years ago where they address the Mencia stuff. Stealing another comedian's jokes. Sort of along the lines of what you're saying, I'd have to say stealing another comedian's jokes. The kids of public figures, celebrities. They didn't ask to be put on display, so you should avoid making jokes about them. I remember when TV comedians were making jokes about Chelsea Clinton during her father's presidency, and it was just in horrible bad taste. Nothing. Everything should be open for criticism and commentary. Agree, the comedian can do whatever. The rest of us can also shun the comedian if we don't like the material. Of course. Comedy usually only funny to us if we can relate to it. Exactly. Say whatever you want to say. But people are free to have their own opinions and not find the material funny and/or offensive. Comedians can joke about anything. Whether you find the subject matter funny or not, however, is a different story. The best answer. Stealing jokes. Yes, an actual good answer. Harambe. Dicks out since 2016. When I die, I will make sure to leave detailed instructions to the mortician. Mourners, should there be any, will suspect nothing as they stand before the half-open casket, but the mortician. The mortician will know. I wish to be dressed in the finest of linens from head to toe, save for my dick, which should be exposed. And why should I choose to do this on my funeral day? The answer is simple, of course, for Harambe. 2016. The summer of getting dicks out for Harambe and rating everyone's meal deal. Shock comedy, and what I'll call bias comedy. If the punchline itself is just the fact that you said a racial slur, or made fun of somebody with cerebral palsy, that's pretty lame. Also, if the only reason anyone is laughing is just because you made a political statement and they agree with you, that's pretty lame as well. Yeah, and one rule my friends have is: make fun of one side, next joke is the other side. Also, if the only reason anyone is laughing is just because you made a political statement and they agree with you, that's pretty lame as well. r/political humor. Absolutely the fuck nothing. I'm so tired of censorship. I don't even like to say, that's not funny. Sometimes it might slip out of my mouth, but I try to avoid it. I'll say, I don't find that funny, or I don't understand the humorous element you're trying to make, or maybe telling the joke isn't worth the strife it caused. But I don't say, that's not funny. If one person laughs, even just the person telling the joke, it's funny. It's subjective. People tried to censor art the same way, that's not art. When obscenity laws were being worked out, people would call these nude works not art to get them censored. Anything can be art. Anything can be funny. Nothing should be off limits, but comedy should be funny, and I've yet to hear a rape joke that was funny, so maybe it's best to just not joke about it. The Dave Chappelle joke about the superhero who rapes but saves is good, but not really about rape, I guess. Also, Ricky Gervais' joke about a woman going into a police station saying she was raped and they ask her, "Don't you mean raped?" And she says no, there was a bunch of them. Nothing. Unconsensual pranking, and injury. My mom. Come on guys, it's not funny anymore. I had a joke about this, but some black guy stole it. There is a saying in my country, you can laugh about everything, but not with everyone. I hate people who think saying overly racist/homophobic shit is funny. One of my friends just says the N-word all the time expecting us to laugh and has pretty rude opinions on LGBTQ. He barely accepts me being bi, so it gets frustrating with his jokes about it. Like, I don't mind people saying haha gay FG1 exclamation mark 3 exclamation mark 2 exclamation mark 4 exclamation mark 2, but he kept going way too far with his jokes. Just don't be like that. No offense intended to you, but the dude sounds like a total asshat. Why are you still friends? Pretty much just a few common interests and some mutual friends. I don't want to drop him as a friend. Much more of an acquaintance now. Plus, if I drop him, he always makes me look wrong. Like every time I have an opinion he doesn't, he just makes me look stupid. Keep in mind, like, the description is him now after I confronted him. Thanks for caring though. I don't think there's a topic that can't be joked about. It's about the angle you approach it from. Nothing. Non-scripted, actual harm to real people. It's sick people think that's funny. Nothing. Joke about everything. But no personal attacks. As in, how many dead babies does it take to paint a wall? Equals good. Haha, you had an abortion equals bad. Stuff that's not funny. I unsubscribed from a YouTube comedian some time ago. He has always been on the darker side of comedy, rather daring, offensive but in a clever way. Basically what good satire is about. However, he would repeatedly joke about suicide, which I generally find to be absolutely unfunny. What crossed the line then was a joke somewhere along the lines, man, if I was a Jew, I'd be wishing for a shower. So yeah, I draw the line at suicide, genocide and the Holocaust. I went to Penn State University during the Jerry Sandusky scandal. I saw Jeff Dunham there 3 months after that news broke, and he was making incredibly cringy jokes about pedophilia. On the other hand, I saw Louis Black at a small campus venue a couple of months after that, and he said up front that he would not go near the topic since it would be incredibly disrespectful to the victims. That's what class looks like. I adore Louis Black. Nothing.